Alright, what's going on YouTube? So in this video, I'm going to be doing my hardest DJI SC Ronin setup. Basically, it's going to be my 24-105 with the M50 with the viltrox adapter, the phone mount, and the cell phone to do active tracking. So in my opinion, this is the hardest setup because it is. Just balancing wise, it's a nightmare. I've tried using my 2470 Mark I f2.8. That's impossible. It's just too top heavy. So this is only 1.2 pounds, the lens. So it does work. So yeah. See how this goes. So I have roughly the setup right now. I'm gonna go from scratch just because it's probably gonna become a 20-minute video. But when I was doing this, I would have really appreciated somebody doing this from scratch, because it would have helped me not watch like 10 videos on this. So just by doing it from scratch, I feel like it'll help somebody out there. So I'm using the riser plate, using one screw to mount the plate in place. Okay, I like to raise it slightly to make sure that the holder is nice and snug. Okay, so that looks good. Put the phone in. Okay, make sure the off button doesn't touch up here. Also bend it down. Sometimes it goes like incline. The lower you can try to keep the weight, the better. Okay, I'm gonna turn on my scale. It is 1,472 grams. So I have 628 grams to play with before I hit the max payload. So payload is good. Now let's make sure all the axes are locked. Put the mount in, unlock the first axis. Okay, the first time you balance, it's not super important to like balance, because anyways you're gonna have to rebalance it once you do the vertical axis. Okay. Yeah, it's not balanced, but that's okay. First time. So when you go up, let's see if I can show you. When you go up, the back hits. When I don't have the camera mounted on, I bounce it downwards, but in this case the bottom hits now, so there's no way to do the vertical axis that way. So the next best thing to do is try to make it balanced like this. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing. Or that's what I saw somebody else on YouTube do. So that's what I'm gonna do. So have the vertical axis balance. so it doesn't balance at all. So let's go back and fix the x-axis. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't done this in a couple weeks, so please bear with me. This is like really micro adjustments, like by the millimeter. So sensitive. Probably, if you smoke, you probably have to quit smoking, because there's no way to like. Yeah. I hope I don't fail. Okay, it's a little top heavy. See the y-axis again. Let's see. Well, that didn't go as planned. Then I'm gonna have to put a cage on, because the weight distribution is just not working. Because I know I got this. I think I got it with the cage on though, because it's just not working. Can't balance the y-axis. So this is going to be a longer video than I planned, or I could just delete and start over, but it's probably more informative to watch me fail. So I'm just going to keep shooting. Hopefully it's not a 30-minute video of me screwing up, but it could be. Okay. I hate exposing the lens. Like, hate exposing the lens. Oh, you know what? I gotta seal this up real quick. Where's my cake? Here. Okay. I actually put a silicone case on top of this when I use the cage, because I bought a cheap cage instead of the light cage that everyone uses. This was only $50 with the handle. So it came with this and a handle on top, and it was $50, so I saved like $50. But the downside is the camera slightly moves inside the cage. So I bought this $10 silicone, and when you put the silicone on with the cage, then it doesn't move. So the downside is you don't have to, but it's just better to do both, because if it moves while you're shooting, that can upset the balance, and you don't want that. The good thing about the cage is you don't need a riser plate. Make sure it's super tight though, because you don't want it to move around. Okay. Yeah, it's super tight. Okay, so let's expose the sensor again. Voila. It's way heavier now. Let's go and attach this. Make sure it's super centered. You don't want it tilting off to a side slightly. Okay. Tighten the screw. Okay. Actually, this is on pretty good. Okay, so let's get a weight measurement. I am at, oh duh, I need the phone. Okay, I'm at 1,665 grams. So I'm still under the payload max. You guys should get a scale. I highly recommend it. It saves you a lot of time. Then the way I was doing it before was I was doing the math of like each individual component, and that will just make you go insane because it's weight. Because sometimes when you Google the weights, they come out in pounds, kilograms, ounces, and just to, it's a $10 scale, it'll stop you from going insane. I highly recommend. Okay. Okay. So it's kind of, just by adding that weight to the back, it helps balance a lot easier. So now let's try the vertical axis again. Okay, there we go. Okay, so as you can see now that it balances, I needed to have the weight of the cage to make it balance. So if you're having problems too, you might want to invest in a cage or get counterweights on the back. Counterweights, from what I've seen, will cost you like 50 to 100 bucks, probably closer to 100, the small rig counterweights. So at least if you have a cage, you can use it for other things besides this. But if you buy the weights and you don't really shoot that much, you know what I'm saying. It's not really worthwhile. Trying to find a different way to save money, it's probably better just to go with the cage, in my opinion. That's why I have looked into the weights, but it's kind of like all I need is this lens and this setup to shoot with this gimbal. If I wanted to shoot with anything heavier than this, I would go with the SC or just the regular Ronin, or with the Ronin S. So it's up to you. In all honesty, I might just buy an S one day because the prices have dropped a lot, and I only got this because it was $279. As I'm sure a lot of people watching this got it too. So, ooh, balance, yeah. Okay. So, I am thinking about getting an S. I'm not gonna lie, just to shoot. The downside with this setup is I can't do low angle and barrel rolls. Not that you really do that many barrel rolls or low angle, but it's nice to have that option with your best lenses. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty close. Side view. I could do a micro adjustment, but I'm not going to. Instead, I'm going to do the roll axis. It's pretty close, only because when you do the roll axis, sometimes the micro adjustments will screw it up. Ooh. So anyways, what I like to do is, oh, so close. Okay, that's good right there. What I like to do after the roll axis is, now that I got the roll done, I'll go back and do micro adjustments. But man, that looks good now. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that still. You can't get too picky with micro adjustments with this much weight, or Okay. You can't get too picky because it's a heavier payload. Like when you use a smaller lens, ooh, I want to say it's pretty good, but let's move it like 2 millimeters one direction. See what that does. Ooh, look how it spins. So let's go 2 millimeters back in the other direction. Let's make it 3, just to see if it does the reverse. Ooh. Okay, let me go 1 more millimeter in that same direction. See what that does. I think we're good. Okay, so once you got all your micro adjustments done, yeah, that's good. Okay. Turn on your app. Let's see here. Okay. Turn on your Ronin. Go to motor parameters, auto tune, connect first. Okay. Okay. Oh, come on. GPS. Okay. You have to hurry though, because the camera is shaking, or the gimbal is shaking because it can't handle the weight. Auto tune first. Super important. That's the one thing nobody told me when I first got this. Like, you watch videos, you watch the tutorials, auto tune. Before you balance test, auto tune. Because if the weight jumps from like a light setup to a heavy setup and it's not auto tuned, it'll like, the camera will shake when you do balance test. Okay, so I did the auto tune. Let's do a quick balance test. Angle your camera. I'm at 18 degrees. You gotta be at 15 at least. And we are, okay, pan needs to be rebalanced. The roll and tilt are excellent. Pan is a little hard, I'm not gonna lie. But at least it's up. It's functional. Okay, so let's try the create active pro tracking. How do I do this? Okay, so I'm gonna tilt it this way so the camera sees me. Select active pro. Okay, now if you press the trigger button, active pro should be on now. So you can't move too fast with this, or else the camera can't keep up with you. But if you move like that, yeah, it's working. Whew. Thank God it's working. I don't have to delete this video and shoot another one. Hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more content. And I'm not a complete failure in life. Hooray. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more.